Hey, good afternoon, guys. UC here from iTradePrices. It is Saturday, actually 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So, one of the questions, one of the top questions that I get asked around these automated trading strategies is that how can we use this tool to trade prop accounts, right? Such as Apex or TopStep or any other prop firms out there. How can you use this tool? So you have to keep that in mind. You know, the biggest challenge when people are trading such accounts is the drawdown restriction that everybody has, right? So that you cannot go below a certain threshold value, because if you do, the account gets busted and you have to start over again, right? So you have to keep in mind the drawdown, right? So what does that mean? How can we use this tool, keeping in mind that we don't want a big drawdown when we are trading this tool? So thinking about it, right? I think the best way to to approach this is through an example. But to do that, you have to kind of take a step back and think about that these automated trading strategies, you know, what is it, right? It's basically stats, right? It's statistics. That you're trying to work in your favor, right? So whatever you can do, whatever steps you can take to improve the probability, improve the odds in your favor when running the strategy, is what you want, right? So let's go to NinjaTrader, for example. So if you zoom out, right, let's say this is a 150 tick chart, right? If you zoom out, you can see for this good 60, 70, 75% even, 75% of the time, 70% of the time, the charts are not trending, right? They are in some sort of range. They are sideways, choppy, whatever you want to call it, right? You can see, look at this one, right? So, and these little mini trends, right? Yes, if you catch it, you make good money, but for the most part, yeah, you don't know when will this come, right? And for the most part, it's just sideways. You know, look at this one. This was a good, where's my tool? I don't see it, but it's okay. So for the most part, you can see, right? For example, this trend, right? Even if you're trading, most of the people, if you catch this, you know, move right here, you'll probably get out somewhere over here. You're not going to capitalize on the full move because you don't know how far up it will go, right? And you will probably like to, you know, try to catch it on the pullback, enter over here again and try to come out again because, you know, you start getting cold feet, whatever. But for the most part, the market, the structure is sideways, right? It's not trending, right? If I keep going back, look at this one, right? Asian session, or even earlier European session, or even sometimes US session, it's range bound, right? This is a 200 EMA, and you can see the price is just sort of, you know, zigzag, you know, it's just swinging above and below that. You know, these trends are rare, right? And it's only lasts for like good 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes tops, right? Like if you start from here, we're talking at 9:30 US market open till 10 o'clock. They're like 30 minutes of trend, that's it. And then all the way chop from like 10 till like 3 o'clock, sideways move, right? So that's so what that means is that if you want to use this tool, right, for Apex purposes, and you know these conditions that the market remains sideways for the most part, then how can you utilize this tool to only trade during this time when the market is choppy? And you know, if that means that you do not participate in this trend, that's fine, so be it, right? You're only trying to look for small points, right? Most of people trade multiple Apex accounts or multiple prop accounts where you're using the trade copier, right? You're making $200, $300, $400 in one account that gets copied over into other accounts, and that's how you're trying to you know, monetize this thing, right? How you want to approach this thing. So that means that you only want to trade in the sideways market. So how can you use this EMA tool? Okay, so let's, for example, let's go into a playback mode. Okay, I'm going to open the playback. Let's say, let's go to like 28th, right? 29th was a holiday. Our market was off. Okay, so we got the NQ chart, and let's bring this playback thing here, and let's go to 28th, right? That's the most recent trading day for futures, right? And let's go to like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock or something like that. There you go, right? Something like that. Okay. And then let's use EMA strategy, right? Because that's the one that offers us the reverse trade. If you remember, if you guys already have the license, the ones who are watching this, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I have saved this template for EMA reverse, right? So let's go and adjust the time to, let's say, 6 o'clock. Okay. And everything looks okay. All right, let's enable this thing. Enable, we want the reverse trade, and we want it below 25, right? So that's the key. We want to only trade when the market is choppy. We don't want to trade when the market is trending, right? And another thing that you need to keep on your side from probability perspective is the template, right? Once you are in the trade, once the strategy gets you in the trade, you still want the probability on your side. So the way to do that is keeping the profit target less than your stop loss. So your stop loss, let's say, for example, is 10 points, which is 40 ticks, and your profit is 20 ticks, which is 5 points, right? So, I mean, if everything else is equal, right, you are likely to go and hit 5 points target before you hit your stop loss of 10 points, right? Just everything, if you just think about it from probability perspective, right? So keeping that in mind, you're keeping the sideways structure in your favor, and that's what you're telling the bot to do, right? And you're targeting, let's say, $300, $400, and you don't want a big drawdown, right? So let's say you come in the morning, you enable this thing. All right, let's do that. And I'm going to fast forward this thing, and you just let it trade, right? Of course, you can stop whenever you want, but I'm just going to try to run it, let's say, for the full day, just so that we can see the expectancy and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this thing to 500 and let this thing keep on taking the trades. Okay.
Order filled.
Okay.
Order filled.
So you
Order
can see
filled.
that it's not
filled.
giving us these huge
Order
drawdowns, right? You're
Order
already at
filled.
$274,
Order
$370, $460. So you
Order
can stop here
filled.
if you want,
Stop
but
filled.
we'll just
Order
keep
filled.
going. We
Order
just want to
filled.
see
Order stop
what
filled.
sort of drawdown we experience in this way, right?
Order
And remember, we have told the tool to not trade in the trendy session. We only want the sideways session. We're keeping the probability in our
Stop
favor by keeping the
Order
stop loss
stop.
and
Order
target
filled.
skewed in our favor, right? So all those things. Okay, so we went up to like 470, whatever, and then now we're back to
Order filled. Stop filled.
this
Order
33.
filled.
Okay, let's keep going.
Order filled.
So almost
Order
10
filled.
o'clock.
Stop filled.
All
Order
right.
filled.
So the
Order
idea is
filled.
we don't want these huge
Order
drawdowns,
filled. Order
right?
filled.
Thousands of dollars of drawdowns, because
Order
that's
filled.
what busts
Stop.
the
Order.
accounts, right?
Stop
That's
filled.
what
Order
that's how
filled.
these prop accounts, prop
Order
firms make
filled.
money, right? When you bust an account, right? You go and
Order
reset.
filled.
So we don't want that. So we want it contained, right? And we will. So
Order filled.
let's keep going.
Order
We still
filled.
have about 3 hours, 4
Order
hours left
filled.
before the day is over.
Stop.
So
Order.
for the most
Stop
part,
filled.
it should
Order
keep
filled. Stop
us green, close to green, and not a huge red
Order
number.
filled.
Okay.
Order filled. Order
So,
filled.
and even if we go
Order
red,
filled.
it
Order
should bring
filled.
us back. It should bring us back, right?
Order
That's
filled.
what a
Order
good strategy
filled.
should do, right? Positive expectancy. I
Order
keep
filled.
saying
Order.
that.
Stop filled.
Okay,
Order
so we went
canceled.
back to
Order filled.
400.
Order.
Okay, I'll
Order.
stop here.
Order filled.
345. Let's close this trade. Okay,
Stop filled.
so 202. All right, now let's go bring the performance data. So you can see, let's go and look at the win ratio, right? Percentage profitable, 70%, right? You kept the probability in your favor. That's why you have this 70%, right? Higher win ratio. Yes, that does mean your stop loss is in terms of the average stop loss is higher, right? Because your average losing trade is $200 and your average winning trade is a little less than $100 because of the commission. But again, this is where you can size up to if you want, right? Because the win ratio is high, right? If you were, for example, if you started there, you can be done here, right? You don't want to keep going, but that's just for expectancy purposes. We kept on going, so it took us all the way up to 454. Then it went back to slightly negative, blah blah blah, kept around the flat line. Then we went positive, went back negative again, and then positive again, negative again, and positive again, right? So, and then we went up to like $420 again. So that's what I'm trying to say, that it's not giving you huge drawdowns because you are telling the bot, you're telling the strategy to get you only in the trades when it's sideways. You don't care about these big trendy moves, right? And you're keeping the probability in your favor, right? So if you have this strategy, go back test this thing, right? And then optimize it to suit your daily target, daily goals, whatever you have. But this is something that I thought that you could use if you're trading the prop accounts, right? Where the challenge is that you don't want these big drawdowns. Okay. Hope you guys like this little video. If you have any questions, comment, let me know, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.